How's it doing? Hope you're all doing well. So we're talking about our best friend Charlie. Charlie Flanagan, the former Minister for Justice. We all wished he could be Taoiseach. I was hoping he'd be Minister for the Vets. If you don't know what I'm saying, I'm being very sarcastic. I'm not being serious at all. Because this man's a joke. Right? Right? This man's a joke. So you probably watched about 2 weeks back. I watched it. Was Unique Graves. And it showed what the British Army and basically loyalist gangs in Northern Ireland planned to do and everything. And what was being covered up and things like that. There's still things being covered up. I have funny feelings the British government know who done the Belturbet bombing, for example. And I'm saying Charlie has a fair idea too who done it, but I highly doubt they're going to do much because they say they're involved in diesel laundering, and that's just my assumption. I bet you any money I'm probably right. In what I'm saying, because I say they are involved with diesel laundering. The guards are more or less terrified to do anything about it. And poor Charlie. Charlie doesn't want to annoy his loyalist friends or his Westbrook friends or anything like that. And you know what? He didn't. He wanted. Do you remember anybody remember the OIC and Black and Tans commemorations? You couldn't. You honestly, you couldn't make this up. What's wrong with this man? Seriously. We have to remember the OIC and the Black and Tans. They killed innocent people. They raped thousands upon thousands of women. The slaughtered villagers, the burned villagers to the ground. I could go on. I really could go on, and this man wanted to come in with them. Great country. You think he should be Prime Minister of Britain, wanting to come in with them. Because again, as I said at that time, the Black and Tans are nothing but evil devils, and that's the simple stat. Evil devils that had no soul, had no heart. And what they did was disgusting, and obviously should not. What Charlie Flanagan wanted to do was have kind of memorize them. We have to forget about them because we don't really have to forget about them, but we have to remember what they did to the Irish people back then, and not let it go out of the history books. But we don't want to remember their names. We don't want to celebrate them. We don't want to give them any moment of the day, the Black and Tans. And we remember the people who they murdered, who they absolutely slaughtered in the country. We remember them. And about this Unique Graves, so basically was exposing what the British Army and obviously not so much probably the OIC too in Northern Ireland and everything like that, and obviously loyalist gangs and things like that. And Charlie wrote to RT and he was like, well, I'm not too happy about this. My friends in Northern Ireland are not too pleased with me. I don't know why I'm laughing, but you couldn't make this up. I never seen such a government minister. Honest to God, we might as well put him as Minister of the Feds. He have the Black and Tans back around. Honest to God, and he's still a TD. Who voted this man? Seriously, who voted him in? Who put his name, ticked his name in the vote? Who ticked? Honest to God, you honestly couldn't make this up. I never heard such. The time when he wanted to come in with the OIC and everything, everybody and the cat said no. And he was like, why not? Why not? He was all upset. And the same with the Taoiseach, the two of them were whinging and quibbling and crying. Again, you have to ask yourself, what? Honest to God, our government, and I say this straight, our government, we get any con artists, we get the top con artists in the world who scams millions out of people every day. We put him into the government. The government will make them. We put him in place of the government for a day. The government of Ireland will make him look like cherry pickers, literally cherry pickers, because the government the biggest scammers going in this country. Compared to the Indian scammers or anything like that, the biggest scammers going, every one of them in Dáil are the biggest scammers you ever seen in this country. They're not mad. They know what they're doing. It's just, you honestly just, you couldn't cry, but you can only laugh with stupidity you had, how these clowns in government are allowed to do this and that and get off with it. More or less get staff in the West and say, you learn from your mistake. It's okay. It's okay, Charlie. Don't cry, Charlie. We don't want you writing letters to RTE, Charlie. Charlie, don't do this, Charlie. We're going to protect your friends in the border regions. We're going to protect them diesel laundering. We're going to protect all that. Don't worry about that, Charlie. I just don't know. I really just don't know what I'm saying anymore.